So the UFC White House card got announced last week. Finally, it's been announced. We have the White House card. UFC Freedom 250 is what it's called. I've literally got it up on the screen. And in today's video, I'm going to go through what I like about the matchups they put on this card and what I don't like. And also about the whiny fans in MMA. Because, bro, you cannot please them. Have we not learned from UFC 300? This is a solid card. Is it overhyped? Yes, Dana White definitely made out that you were going to get Zeus and Hades fighting on this card. That it was going to be absolutely insane, which it is insane, but it's not the level of Dana White. It's not the level that Dana White was kind of going at. And I agree why you're going to be upset, but wake up, bro. We're so like naive. Like it was always going to be a letdown. You know what I'm saying? I knew he was gassing it up too much, just like he gassed UFC 300 up a bit too much. But then look, it came. It conquered, it was amazing. But in today's video, I'm going to go through all these matchups from the top to the bottom, because we started from the bottom, now we're here. No, but for real, I'm going to go from the top to the bottom, starting with Ilia Topuria versus Justin Gaethje. Banger. It's a banger. It's a really, really good matchup. The reason it's a good matchup is that it's probably guaranteed a knockout, and I would say it's 99% going to be Ilia Topuria. There's just something that's telling me it's Justin Gaethje, just because everyone's counting him out. And then, you know how this MMA thing goes. When a fighter gets completely counted out, he seems to do all right. But, you know, people are talking about leg kicks and stuff. I just think Ilia is in a different stratosphere to Justin Gaethje. I feel like Justin Gaethje, if I'm honest, undeservingly got the interim title. Him and Paddy shouldn't be for the interim title. You know, he's on a 2-fight winning streak, I believe, which is, you know, decent, but I just don't like it at all. He's there to be hit, and Ilia, if you're there to be hit with Ilia Topuria, then you're going to go night-night. You're going to go sleep, son. So that's what I think. There's not much to say about that. Yes, it should have been Ilia Topuria versus Islam, but at the same time, I want to see Ilia do something in the lightweight division. He was quick he was in the featherweight division. You know, he made one title defense and jumped. I was kind of upset about that, but not really. And now he's in the lightweight division. I don't want the same thing to happen as well. I honestly think that Islam Makhachev will be way too much for him at 170. Ilia can catch him, of course. And I know Ilia is not just a power punch. He's got technique. He's got grappling. I get all that. But in reality, I think, you know, Ilia is only a man at the end of the day, and he seems invincible at the minute. He does. He's knocked out 3 legends in a row. If he went out there and beat Islam as well, it would be crazy. I get it. As an Ilia Topuria fan, I get it, but I just think 155 if he's going to fight there, and I don't think Islam will meet him there, rightfully so. So yeah, I do wish it was Islam versus Ilia Topuria, but at the same time, I really don't, because one, I think Islam just does what Islam does. That last fight with JDM, he just looked incredibly good. So I can't really bet against Islam. I don't bet against Islam. I don't really bet against Ilia as well, but Islam is just that much more proven. He's been around for a lot longer. So yeah, great matchup. You know, it's not going to be a mad technical fight between these two. It's really not. But at the end of the day, I just think Ilia is going to knock him out quickly, but I think Justin Gaethje does kind of have the wild card because everyone's counting him out. And when that seems to happen, it's like Max Holloway versus Justin Gaethje. Everyone counted out Max, and then look what Max did. There's many examples of that in MMA. It always seems to go like that. But that's what I think. Banger of fight. I want to get into the co-main though. Heavyweight interim title bout. Alex Pereira versus Cyril Gane. Everyone's upset that John Jones is not on this card. I think John Jones being not on this card is excellent. Absolutely superb. Like, I can't tell you how happy I am that John Jones isn't on this card. We are in for a really high-level striking match in Alex Pereira and Cyril Gane. There's probably not going to be a takedown. To be fair, I wouldn't be surprised if Cyril Gane tries to take Alex Pereira down, and because Cyril Gane, I've seen him take many people down, not many people, but a few heavyweights down. So I wouldn't be surprised at all. This fight really interests me. I've been watching Cyril Gane as of late, like last few days. I've been watching some of his fights. He is underrated. Just because of what Jones done to him, he is underrated. Hella underrated, if you ask me. He actually has 3 wins by submission as well. I'm pretty sure his first fight in the UFC was by submission. You know, he only lost to Francis and Jones. He's only ever lost to those two, which isn't bad at all. And to be honest, yeah, I feel like Cyril Gane was beating Francis until the takedown, until the third, fourth, and fifth. I had Cyril Gane winning that fight. You know, obviously he lost it, but at the end of the day, he's a good striker. He's criminally underrated striking. Has he got a lot of power? Not really. He seems to get people later on. The only thing that leads me to think Alex Pereira can beat him is one, the leg kicks. Two, Cyril Gane's hands are very low. And three, he crosses his legs quite a lot. I noticed against Tai Tuivasa that he crossed his legs quite a bit. And as well, in those first few rounds with Francis Ngannou, he also crosses his legs. He crossed them the other way against Francis, and against Tai, he hits his back foot, like crossing behind his front foot, which is awful. He really shouldn't be doing that. You know what I mean? Like, it's bad. Like, obviously, if you did that against me, I'd knock him clean out, bro. No, but on a real note, it's very bad, and you do that against Alex Pereira. Alex Pereira will wait for that. He's so good. Like, he would definitely wait for that, and he could get you. As well, Cyril Gane's very bouncy, so I feel like once he's, like, when he gets hit with those leg kicks, he won't be bouncy. So maybe that will be Alex Pereira. I feel like Alex Pereira, basically, what I'm trying to say is I feel like Alex Pereira's leg kicks are going to win him this fight, as well as his footwork and setting Cyril Gane up. Because he would have definitely clocked that Cyril Gane likes to cross his feet a little bit, and he would have definitely clocked that Cyril Gane's a very agile fighter. So what do? You take away their base, and suddenly they're nowhere near as agile anymore. And I think that's going to be a good game plan for Alex Pereira. I am leaning Alex Pereira right now. I wouldn't be surprised if Cyril Gane could, like, just outstrike him and, you know, don't get into a war with him. Don't let him get close and just keep him at range. Maybe even take him down and submit him. We'll see. Either way, excellent matchup, and it's way better than John Jones. I'm so happy John Jones wasn't on this card. That would have been boring. John Jones would go out there, take Alex Pereira down, and submit him within a round or two. I honestly believe that. I can't see it going any other way. I'm so happy he's not on this. We want to see striking, don't we? We want to see striking. Everyone wants to watch striking. I love grappling, yeah, but I'm just saying, like, the fan base of MMA loves striking. And then when you get a striker instead of a grappler, I know Jones is everything, but at the end of the day, when he's in front of Alex Pereira, I watch Jones turn into a grappler. That would be the smart thing to do. This matchup, everyone's complaining about it. Typical MMA fan base, complaining about this matchup. It should have been Jones. Yet when Jones just sits on him for 5 rounds, or sits on him for a couple of rounds and submits him, oh, that was the most boring fight ever. Just like we just did with the BMF belt, Charles Oliveira versus Max Holloway. I found that a very entertaining fight, but a lot of people don't want to see that. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, I'd rather see stand-up as well. Like, I'm just going to put it out there, I would. But I found that was sick. It was a dominant fight, and I love it when someone could just... You know, he didn't Hamzat Chimaev him at the end of the day. It was a fun fight, and there was action, and there was threats of submission. So I like that type of grappling, excellent grappling. But at the end of the day, we were just complaining about a grappler versus striker, and how the grappler made the striker... nullified the striker and just laid on him for 5 rounds. That could easily be Jones versus Pereira. Easily. I do think Jones would finish him if he gets him on the ground, but you know what I'm saying? Like, let's just be happy that this is basically guaranteed a stand-up matchup. So, interesting. Anyway, moving on. But Sean O'Malley, ranked number 2, against Ayman Zahabi, number 6. Ariel Helwani, basically, the 3rd, the 2nd, the 4th, whatever you want to call it. This is a bit of a layoff for Sean O'Malley. Let's be honest, I do think Sean O'Malley is going to go out there and put on a spectacular performance. Ayman is good, very good. I think he's on a 7 or 8 fight win streak, which is another thing I feel like about MMA fans. They're upset. Oh, we want to see Corey Sandhagen. Do you want to see big fights, or do you want to see the rightful contender get the matchups? Because I'm not joking, yeah. I'm not kidding when I say this. Ayman on that 7-8 fight win streak, he deserves a Sean O'Malley or someone like that, a big name, to launch him into that casual fan base eye. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, because let's be honest, I don't think he does well. But at the end of the day, he has fought some legends. He's beaten the likes of Jose Aldo, people like that, and he deserves that big fight. Obviously, Sean O'Malley versus Corey Sandhagen would have been the more interesting matchup, but that could easily be a 5-round Corey Sandhagen trying to take Sean O'Malley down, just laying on him, controlling him, and winning the fight on control time. You can't win. This is guaranteed stand-up, and you're basically guaranteed a Sean O'Malley knockout, which is like the best thing on a card. I think Sean O'Malley striking is the best in the UFC, if I'm honest. I personally, he's one of my favourite fighters to watch. The skill is insane. The feints, the footwork, the knockout shots that he can produce. Sean O'Malley is that guy. I don't think there's ever been a boring Sean O'Malley fight, except maybe the one where Merab got him. Do you know what I'm saying? But other than that, what a fight. Would it be better against Peter Yan? I don't want Sean O'Malley against Peter Yan yet, personally. I really don't. I think Merab versus Peter Yan have unfinished beef. Let them sort it out. Let's see the trilogy there. And I think this will be amazing because it just lines up a banging knockout. You're basically guaranteed a knockout on this one. I do think Eamon is a bit too sloppy on the feet, a bit too panicky, just looks a bit fragile in there. And if you're going to fight Sean O'Malley, this is awful. You don't want this at all. You're going to get smoked in a round or two. Three bangers to top the bills. 1, 2, 3 to top the bills, sorry. 1, 2, 3 bangers, bro. Let's be honest. And I know bangers, okay? I know bangers. So, yeah. Moving on, we've got Mauricio Ruffy against Michael Chandler. Again, this is lining it up for a massive KO. I think Ruffy probably does chin Chandler quite easy. Michael Chandler is past it, let's be honest. He's way past his prime at this point. I think he's only ever won 2 fights in the UFC out of like 8 fights or 7, something like that. Don't quote me on that, but not very good. Not impressed by your performance is what I'm trying to say. And Mauricio Ruffy is on the rise. Yeah, beat Conor McGregor. I don't want Conor on the card. I know, call me whatever. I'm crazy. I don't want Conor on the card because he's got to top the bill. He's Conor McGregor. You can't have Conor McGregor as the third or second or co-main. Like, come on, man. It can't be. It can't happen. I wouldn't trust him to not pull out, and I don't really want to see Conor return. If I'm honest, I'm probably one of the few MMA fans who doesn't want to see Conor return. I just think Conor needs to chill. He's done his thing. I don't think he even should have come back for the Poirier fights, to be honest. He just wasn't in the game, and he's tarnished his legacy. Obviously, what he did was incredible. I'm not trying to say anything bad, but just not for me. Just not for me. You know, Ruffy's on a bit of a tear since that loss. I forget who he lost to off the top of my head, but he's on a bit of a tear now. And again, this is going to be a massive. I'm surprised they would do this because this is going to be an American getting knocked out on the card. You know, basically guaranteed, as well as Justin Gaethje. So at the end of the day, they've done it. Michael Chandler's never really been in a boring fight, so it's probably why they did it. What do I think on this fight? I think Ruffy goes out there and puts on an absolute masterclass, if I'm honest, and probably gets him out there pretty early. Now, this is the fight on the card that most people are upset about, and I totally understand why. Bo Nickel versus Kali Dukas, Dukas, whatever you call him, I don't know. I'm bad with pronunciation, obviously, and I get it. You know, Kyle, I'm just going to call him Kyle. Kyle, he has quite a few submission wins. I haven't watched much of him, if I'm really honest. Obviously, Bo Nickel, I really rate Bo Nickel. Again, probably against the grain, but I think Bo Nickel's solid fighter. He gets a lot of hate, chatting a lot of shit. You know, so I understand like most of the hate's rightfully so. But I like him. He's a God-fearing man. He's a family man. He's just there to do well. You know, he's ruffled some feathers, rightfully so. Got a few crazy KOs. His last fight, that head kick KO was crazy. You know, obviously he's got the background with the wrestling and all that stuff. He was always going to be on this card. Let's be honest. We all know Bo Nickel. We all knew Bo Nickel was going to be on this card, man. Let's not joke about. This is like Donald Trump's little friend. Do you know what I mean? Like, they go golfing together. They do their thing together. So, yeah, I think this is going to be a Bo Nickel win, if I'm honest. But we'll see. You know, it's not a step up for Bo Nickel. It is kind of a can. Not a can. That is disrespectful. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. It's just a matchup for an American win. Let's be honest. They want an American win. I don't blame them at all. I think that, you know, Bo Nickel's going to do his thing. And, you know, would I have matched that fight on there? No, I wouldn't have. But moving on. I don't really care about these last 2 fights. Diego Lopez versus Steve Garcia. Garcia's got like 15 knockout wins. And Diego Lopez has got some power. So this is going to be an interesting matchup. It's dangerous for Lopez. Lopez obviously wants to get straight back into title contention. And he'll probably get it because he's got Dana White privilege. So let's see how this one goes. Steve Garcia is ranked number 9. Diego Lopez is still number 2. Let's see how this goes, man. Probably guaranteed a knockout there as well. So, you know, you got 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 fights on there, you're guaranteed knockouts with them. Ilya knocks out Justin. Alex Pereira's going to knock out Gane, I think. Or Garn, sorry. Sean O'Malley, he's going to knock out Ariel Helwani. Mauricio Ruffy's probably going to knock out Michael Chandler. Bo Nickel could definitely knock out Carl Dukas. Like, I wouldn't be shocked at all. And then Diego Lopez, I wouldn't be surprised if he got knocked out by Steve Garcia or knocked out Steve Garcia. So, it's a banger card. It is a banger, and I know bangers. And to be honest, I can't wait for it. I'm actually going to stay up and watch this one, I think, because it's an absolute banger card. Now, how would I have done this card personally? I would have done Ilia Topuria versus Justin Gaethje. I would have done Alex Pereira versus Cyril Gane as no Tom Aspinall. I don't want Jones anywhere near this card. I don't. He's going to stink it up. What he did last year is unforgivable. You know, you have Ariel Helwani saying, just give him his 30 million, man. No, don't give him his 30 million. The guy mocked it. He mocked it so hard, put Tom Aspinall's career on hold, mugged off the UFC promoter Dana White, the face of the UFC, completely mugged him off, made him look silly. He was vouching for Jones all the way, and then you come back and you think you're going to get the same money. Nah, mate, you come crawling back and you get paid whatever you get given at the end of the day. That's how I feel about it. Don't want Jones anywhere near the UFC. I couldn't care less about Jones. Get him away from the sport. Terrible person, don't rate him at all. Sean O'Malley versus Ayman Zahabi. You know, it's gonna be a knockout, bro. And yeah, I'm excited for a Sean O'Malley knockout. Like I said, Sean O'Malley's one of my favourite fighters to watch, so I really cannot wait for that. I would have done Sean O'Malley versus anyone really. I don't like the Peter Yan matchup because I feel like it might be a bit too soon for Sean O'Malley. He didn't look great against Song Yadong. I thought he looked pretty bad against Song Yadong. Very hesitant. I know Dong's got power. Yeah, Dong's got power, but I didn't like it. I feel like Sean O'Malley's one of those fighters that when he properly lost to Merab, he lost confidence and he knew that he could lose. But that Cheeto loss wasn't a real loss in Sean's head. It was obviously a real loss. I'm not saying he didn't lose to Cheeto, but we all know what happened there. It was a freak accident. These things do happen. It does count as a loss. And then when he lost to Merab, I feel like his confidence went down a bit, because that's what happens to a lot of fighters, and I'm not surprised at all. So Sean O'Malley versus Peter Yan, I don't really want to see it yet. I want Sean O'Malley to maybe go out there, knock someone out, get that confidence back a bit more. And what a layup in Ayman Zahabi. And Ayman Zahabi, he's on a 7 to 8 fight win streak. I can't remember. So bun Corey Sandhagen. I don't want to see Corey Sandhagen. Yeah, he's an entertaining fighter, but let's be honest, I just want to see pure carnage on this one. And I don't think Sandhagen's that guy to do it. I think Sandhagen is a guy, he's smart and he will win at any cost. And if that's controlling Sean O'Malley on the ground for 5 rounds, which I'm not saying he could do, but he will try to do a Merab to him. So let's not complain, guys. And same thing with Umar. I don't want to see Umar versus O'Malley on this card. I do want to see that matchup. That is an excellent matchup. Michelle Ruffy versus Michael Chandler. Another layup, never set up. You know, would I have done differently? What I would have done differently here? To be honest, what I would have done, is I would have got rid of, let's just scrap the last 3. I would have done Ilia Topuria versus Justin Gaethje. I would have done Alex Pereira versus Cyril Gane. I would have done Sean O'Malley versus Ayman Zahabi, just for the bands, just for a banging knockout, builds up one of their stars as well, so it works in their favour well. And then I would have got rid of Mauricio Ruffy and Michael Chandler completely, and I would have put, I wouldn't have made the Adesanya matchup, and I would have put Adesanya versus Sean Strickland on this card. Obviously, I know for obvious reasons they can't have Sean Strickland on this card, but I would have done that. Adesanya versus Sean Strickland 2. I think that's a banger of a matchup, and it's going to be great at the press conference. I would have whacked that on there, and then Bo Nickel would have kept on there, but I would have added him against Colby Covington, because that would have been fireworks as well for the American fan base. You get an American win, not guaranteed. So that's what I would have done. And then the last bout, I don't really care what they've done with that, but Diego Lopez versus Steve Garcia just doesn't feel right. But to start off a card, that is going to be a banger, bro. Like, someone's getting chinned in basically every single fight. So Basically what I'm saying is, I'm a massive fan of this. I wouldn't have tweaked it too much if I'm honest. I thought I would have before I made this video, but looking at the card again, I don't think I really would have. I think I would have stayed with this. I think it's an excellent card. I think MMA fans are super ungrateful. Let's watch the card and then decide how bad it is. I don't want to sound like Dana White, but you know, we did this with UFC 300, and I think we have a possibility to have 6 KOs on this card, which will be insane. Anyway, guys, that's all I've got to say today. I'm very tired. I need to go to bed. I've got exams in the morning. So take care, and I'll see you in the next one.